So how does a Christmas season generally go for an Etsy 3D printing business? This can vary a lot depending on what category you're in, but let's show you some trends. I have run 5 to 10 Etsy stores in the past, so I have a decent amount of experience within 3D printed objects, but your mileage may vary and the world changes. The first thing to remember is that even though the world's changing, it doesn't change that much. Christmas is always Christmas. Regardless of the economy or anything else, people will always have discretionary spending, and on Etsy, quite frankly, you're dealing with people who are purchasing slightly more premium goods, so they are less economically unstable than a lot of different areas. If you're selling bottom of the barrel, as cheap as your stuff as you possibly can, then you will be affected, but if you are providing a product that is fairly high value, then you generally don't see a large amount of fluctuation due to the economy on Etsy. Now, politics can affect this. For example, in 2024, we saw a dip in Etsy sales because of the election in the United States that ran for about the first 10 days of November, which decreased the 10 days of November that is generally the big factor. So you do have to be aware of this. And even right now inside the United States, there is a government shutdown, which means a large portion of people are not getting paychecks. But there's an upside to this that I will cover at the end of the video. But let's go back to just baseline. This is how a Christmas season generally goes on Etsy. You have a medium, small kind of ramp throughout October where you might see sales increase maybe 25, maybe 40% between the beginning of October and the end. But then when you go from October into the first week of November, you will see sales increase substantially, somewhere between 50 and 100%, because Etsy itself will start to market your goods very actively starting in November, because that's the start of the Christmas shopping season. So if you are buying ads from Etsy, they will distribute them very effectively, and the entire world is ready to start shopping for Christmas. So you will see that increase of sales at the start of November. Then you will get up to Black Friday. Whether you run sales or not, you will see somewhere between 2 and 5x the number of sales that you normally would in a day on Black Friday weekend. And it will go from Black Friday all the way through to Cyber Monday. You will see a spike on Black Friday, it'll come down a little bit level, and then you will see a spike on Cyber Monday. Whether you are running sales or not, it's very important to realize that you do not have to run sales. People will ask you to run sales. It's good to run sales. It's Black Friday. Set it up, be ready for it. But you don't have to. Your sales will still increase even if you don't have them turned on there. So you see a spike at Black Friday. At this point, after Cyber Monday, they will drop down a little bit and you will see a continuous kind of flat line from whatever the couple days are after Cyber Monday all the way through to about December 10th. At December 10th, people kind of stop shopping online or anywhere else because they're like, people are backlogged, stuff is not going to be arriving in time, all the rest of it. So your sales will start to decline after December 10th, but just decline. They're not going to drop back to normal. After, people will run through Christmas, and then you have Christmas. The week of Christmas, there's nothing because people are doing Christmas. And then the couple of days after Christmas, you will see your sales back up at a fairly high level because people are spending their Christmas money. That will carry all the way through to January 10th. Again, you'll see a drop on New Year's because people are New Year's-ing, but it'll come back up. And then all the way through to January 10th, you'll see sales, and then it will fall off, and by the end of January, it will have leveled back out to kind of your general monthly sales again. This is how it goes on Etsy. You have a ramp in October, bigger ramp in November, Black Friday, which is the biggest day you will have of the season, and then it will level off throughout the season and then fall off. The things you need to do is to prepare for this. Based on those numbers I just gave you, store up inventory. If you know a product sells well, store up a bunch of it. Store up 10 times what you would normally have in a day for that Black Friday. Worst case scenario is that you stored up your most popular products and they don't sell, but now you can sell them off throughout the remainder of the next couple of months or throughout the remainder of the season. But if you are short or you miss or you are behind on Black Friday, that will ruin the rest of your season because you will be overwhelmed on Black Friday and you will put your store on vacation. And if you put your store on vacation, you will immediately kill traffic to your store. If you come out of vacation, you will not get new sales. You will be back at zero because Etsy doesn't have time for you to not be available to ship out goods during the Christmas season. You cannot stop. Now, there's a few ways of getting around this. If you are in a situation where your store or your 3D printing business is being overwhelmed, there are tools to immediately get more stuff delivered. You can plug in Teleport into your store and you get access to 1,000 3D printers in order to produce the parts for your store. This is a very common situation that we deal with, to where someone gets overwhelmed, but to make sure that they don't lose sales, they'll plug in Teleport into their Etsy store so that when you get an order, Slant 3D will print the item and ship it straight straight to your customer for you. It is an overflow valve for you so that you can maximize that revenue. Now, it may be slightly less profitable because you're not making it in-house, but it will still be profitable and it will still allow you to get more sales passively than what you're doing. So you can cover as much stuff as you want, take as much money off the table as you want, but then over on the side, you have other orders being fulfilled that you don't have to worry about. So using teleport can be really useful. The trick to this though is that you don't want to turn that on Black Saturday. You want to have it ready to go before that. So if you're preparing for the season, it's good to just set up teleport, plug it in, make sure that it's working for you so that you're not inundated and having to deal with setup or, oh, the connection isn't working, or I forgot to verify an account or something along those lines. Get it all set up now so that you're ready for that overflow. And best case scenario, you don't have to use it. And it costs you nothing to do it, and there's no expenses in it, but it's a good opportunity to have available, a good backup to have in place, because you hope you don't have to use it, but you can. And then it's kind of nice to be making money without having to do anything. So that is how the Christmas season generally goes. There is one of the options that you have to overflow, because if you get to Black Saturday, there's no time to order more machines. There's no time to order more filament. You have what you have, and you will lose the orders or have to refund orders if you start shipping too late. So store up some inventory for it. Make sure you have overflow valves that you can turn on to deal with it when the time comes, and then get ready for the Christmas season, because it does not stop until January 10th. Have a great day, everybody.